I am here with Christo Dimassis, who is part of Carlos Spills the Beans. Now, this is your second time at the Film Fest, correct?
This is my second time, yeah. So this is kind of like an annual event for me. We had Junkie Nurse, which is also called Boppin' at the Glue Factory last year. So that was our first time here, and it was a lot of fun. The festival really knows how to treat their filmmakers and make everybody happy. And we had a really good turnout last year, and we're looking forward to a great turnout this year.
That's great. Now, how did you come up with the concept of Carlos Spills the Beans?
Well, Carlos Spills the Beans. There's a writer-director. He's also one of the actors in it. That's Brian McGuire, and there's a co-writer, Joey Capone. Don't want to forget any names.
No.
So Joey Capone and Brian McGuire, they wrote it. They brought the script to my business partner Roger Mayer and I.
Okay.
We looked at it, read it, and thought this is a really cool, fun script. So we went and got some money, and we got a cast, and they got a cast, and we put it together, and we went and shot it. And we actually did it pretty quick. We did it in about 3 to 4 weeks of prep. So it was pretty neat with the way it came together.
So, was there a lot of pressure during those 3 weeks? Was it like 18-hour days, or how long a days were they?
Well, it's interesting because we live and breathe the film and the filmmaking, and all our friends are filmmakers and actors. So it's always a part of our life. You wake up and you're doing whatever you're doing. When you go to bed at 1, 2, 3 in the morning, you're just doing what you're doing. So I don't know. I don't look at it that way that we were doing 18-hour days. But when we're shooting, when we're on set and we're making the film, it changes a little bit because you have other people to worry about. And so we try to shoot within like 10, maybe 12 hours, just to be fair to them. Because some of the films that we make, there's not a lot of money.
No.
and some people don't get paid, some people get paid a little bit, and just to be fair to them, we don't want to work them too hard.
Now, in those 3 weeks, what was your biggest challenge that you found?
That's a good question. Getting one of the actors out of bed every day was a challenge. He would be out late at night, and he slept at my house, and Roger and I would set an alarm, and we would get everything and prep and get ready to leave the house, and then we would go wake him up. And he's a fantastic talent. He's a great guy, but he was working after hours.
So you had a good time at night, and then did you have to like set up blazer, horns going off to wake him up?
We would just bang on the door.
Oh, and at least he woke up then. Now, tell me a little bit more of the story. We find out that the main character really wants to take over the family business, wants the girl, and wants to gain the respect of his family members. Can you give us a little bit of story without giving it away, or does he find what he's looking for?
It's interesting. I will say he finds what he's looking for, but he's a jerk. He's a piece of work.
Okay.
And it's that thing of you want something, and you go to get that, you fight to get it, and when you have it, then you don't want it anymore. So that was kind of his existence.
Wow, that's interesting to see. We'll see how that plays out throughout the film. Now, we have a lot of filmmakers in town that are really watching these interviews. Is there one piece of advice or one hurdle that you got over that you could tell people to continue to make films?
Well, if you're a filmmaker, it's all about perseverance. And you just have to get out there and you got to do it because it's difficult. It's very tough. And you have to get up every single day and you have to fight for what you want. And if you want to be a writer, you got to write. If you want to be an actor, you got to just get out there and either be in class or do student films. If you want to be a director, you have to find projects and just go and do it. And it's all about just being positive and that perseverance of just keep going, because it's a tough world. It's tough to make films. There was somebody, I left 15 years ago. I left Minnesota 15 years ago, and when I left, somebody said, if you're going to Hollywood and you want to be in the film industry, if you're not willing to give it 10 years, then don't give it 10 minutes. So that I went out there with a mindset that it was going to take 10 years to make it, and it took a while.
I think that's great advice that someone actually did tell you that it does take 10 years, because some people have the illusion that you go out there, it's going to take 2 and that's enough time to put into it. But 10 years is a good advice, so thank you very much for giving us that advice. And thank you for being here at the 2012 Twin Cities Film Fest, and we'll see you at Carlos Spills the Beans.